Well, that's us live. Good evening. First of all, Jonas, thank you very much for joining us all the way from Denmark.
Thank you. Yep, back home.
Back home in Denmark, and from even further away, the other side of Galashiels, Tweedbank.
Just over the bridge.
Just over the bridge, thank you, James, and I do appreciate you taking the trouble to come and join us, particularly as you're not feeling particularly well, and
nothing that's going to kill me, so we'll be all right. We'll soldier on.
And just before we went live, I was explaining that Graham, our fantastic video cameraman from Berwick Speedway Productions, I'm going to get it right for a change, sent me over a couple of videos of Jonas. But of course, with me being out, I haven't been able to actually do anything with them to get them lined up, set up, ready to pop on. And we did say, didn't we, James, that what a good excuse to get Jonas back on in a couple of weeks' time, so we can have another chat with him about
We better not upset him tonight. Then it'll be...
Exactly. No, I don't think you will. Jonas, first of all, thoughts on obviously the upcoming season. You kind of let us all know that you'd signed for 2 years, and once the visa was sorted out, I think it was almost a given that you would be in the team. I mean, it would be a no-brainer, I would have said, with coming in on 5 points.
Yeah, no. Ever since I came to Berwick, such a nice place. The team is good, and everyone just took me in. So no, I didn't make any plans to change the teams. It's perfect for me, and I love to stay in Berwick.
Lovely. Great to have you. Can I just take you back though? I don't know how much of this we covered before. I mean, what is it that you do during the close season? I mean, it's another 3 months before the Speedway starts. What is it that you're doing at the moment?
At the moment, it's a lot of work with getting sponsors in and preparing myself for the next season, fitness and all this. And of course, I'm doing a bit of work as well. I'm a car mechanic, so.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
James's ears will have picked up at that, because James, that's what you do as well.
I'm a mechanic to trade. I don't do so much of it now. Just kind of dabble every now and again, but I can sympathise with you fully on being a mechanic. I'm sure being a speedway rider is much more fun.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But James, it would be remiss of me not to mention that, of course, Marty is also a mechanic.
Also a mechanic. Yeah. So and a couple of mechanics shouting at people for the top of the tower.
Believe it or not, I am also a qualified car mechanic.
Correct. Yeah.
And how about this for something interesting? My lecturer at college was none other than
my
James.
Uncle.
Yeah,
it was my uncle. But if you've ever one thing that we should say, Jonas, is that the area that we and Paul live in, it's one of those places that you're only ever about 2 stages away from knowing someone that knows that person. So it's just everybody knows everybody, and it is a very, very small world. So that'll maybe make it a bit more tense for you. But it's a small world. But yeah, we're all car mechanics for what we must have. I don't know what sins we committed in a previous life, but that's what we're doing.
It's good.
So being a car mechanic, as you say, you're preparing for the season with sort of fitness and stuff. What does that regime involve?
No, a lot of running and just staying in the fitness, trying to get myself fit and eating right. Don't do some drinking so much Nuki Bruins anymore. So I'm finished with that.
I'm sure once was enough, surely.
Yeah. You gotta stay off that.
Who on earth could have introduced you to Nuki Bruins?
The black and gold.
Yeah.
It's claimed that Black and Glode's claimed many a victim over the years, to be fair.
It's a good place.
It is.
It is a good place, to be fair.
And isn't it interesting, James, how over the years Berwick have been sponsored by the Federation Brewery, Dryborough Brewery, you know.
Yeah.
There's a strong connection with breweries anyway. And
one time.
Yep. And Jonas, is it a case of wanting to stay fit, or is there an aim to get even fitter, stronger in some aspect to do with the riding of the bike that you feel that would help you further?
Yeah, 100%. Start of last season, I did a lot of fitness, and I was feeling so much better on the bike, and then started to relax a bit more. I had some crashes where I couldn't stay in the gym and all this, so now it's staying fit it's better. The riding is better, and you're more focused from the start.
Yeah, I always remember James. I think Sean Courtney was team manager at the time, and I remember asking him, right at the start of the season, what his hopes for the season, and it was simply, if we could keep 7 fit riders, seven riders fit. If we could start and end with the same 7 riders, then we would be successful.
Yeah.
So, Jonas, I think we've covered more or less how it was you ended up coming to Berwick, and that was obviously through Leon Flint. Was it? And can you just remind us? Was it something that you particularly wanted to do? Was to come to the UK?
Yeah, I've always wanted to go, but I didn't know last year was the year I had to go. But I spoke with Gary, and everything just made sense, and I thought to myself, I just gotta go.
And would it? I only James, you've been abroad and seen Speedway abroad. I've never seen Speedway abroad other than live on TV, but it seems to me as if the UK would offer a huge variety of tracks, and shapes and designs.
Yeah, I think at one time, I think when you look over the sort of history of world champions, up until very, very recently, with the likes of your Bartosz Szmarzyk, who hasn't, I think he rode 1 meeting for Birmingham, so that doesn't really count. But, and Artem Lagut obviously is never in this country. But when you look back, most of those guys, your Ricardsons, your Thomas Golubs, Mark Laram, obviously, guys like that over the last sort of, 20 years, that ridden in the GP, and went on to win world championships, have all had spells in Britain that arguably have made them better riders. I do still think that still does have something to offer, because if you think you could be at, one night you could be at, say, Edinburgh, Armadale, for example, tight confines are there. The next again night, the big wide open spaces, Shielfield at Berwick, and then you could be somewhere like Redcar, which is like another small track, but it doesn't ride the same as some of the other smaller tracks and things like that. So I think there is a huge variety, rather than these, nothing against the product anywhere, but like say places like Poland, a lot of the tracks are quite similar, in as much as they're big, fast, and flat out. But in Britain, there does seem to be a bit more of a variety. I think I'd be interested to know Jonas's take on that as well. Is that? Do you feel that riding in the UK will make you a better rider overall?
100%, yeah. It's so much more technical, and the track is either it's slick, grippy. In Poland, you get the same track everywhere. Big, round, slick everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe some tracks can be a bit grippy, but not so much like in England. Like first time I came to Berwick, I was like, shit, this is crazy. But no, it's better for myself as well. When I think Denmark it's a bit similar to England. The UK.
Yes, differences in the tracks and I think, like, I suppose there'll be more of a variety between the tracks, I suppose, as well. Yeah.
But you have big tracks like in Poland, and you have small tracks like England. So
yeah. There's there is certain. I've always sort of believed that riders, foreign riders such as yourself, can benefit from riding in Britain and learning these tracks. Again, look at someone, even take, like, say, Leon Flint. He's riding, obviously doubling up with Wolverhampton. And I don't know if you've ever been to Wolverhampton, but the track there is a lot tighter than what it is at Berwick. So having that difference between the two, surely you can see it in his, or I've certainly seen it in his riding. It's made him a better rider. And he's progressed massively since he's since he's went there. And I believe that's part of it. It's that variation in the tracks and riding different tracks and riding the bike that little bit harder and just getting better ultimately.
100%, yeah.
I think that does still have a lot to offer riding in the UK for riders.
It is, and that's why I always wanted to get over here. But I genuinely thought it would be like 2024 I will get over here and get settled back home. But everything just made sense, and I wanted to go.
Yeah. Oh well, we're certainly pleased to have you. I would say them, and again, Paul will back me up on this. The impact that Jonas made when he came in, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Was nearly instant. And it was something that ended up being one of the sort of brighter parts of the season overall, I think.
Absolutely. Shall we have a look at a bit of Jonas in action from a meeting? This will please all the fans of the Bandits that got fed up of the Bears coming and winning, but they didn't have everything their own way. And of course, we look forward to crossing horns. Have we not got them in the first round of the Knockout Cup again this year?
I think
in like the first preliminary round. Yeah. And anyway, hopefully we'll have a bit more. Sorry, James.
No, I think you're right. Just saying that I think we have got them in the cut. I can't remember, but I think you're right. But hopefully we can turn them over this time. But we shall see.
Yeah. Shall we pop this one up and have a look at this? And then I've got another nickname for you that Bartosz Blair has suggested.
But here we go, V number 8. Revs going high, Star Marshal walks away, green light on. Who's been the best fist of it? It's the Bandits pairing! The Bandits pairing for the first time tonight!
Tell a lie,
Blue from the tapes!
Jonas Knudsen has come in as a reserve switch, and I did not clock that when they came to the tapes. Jonas Knudsen came in and blew in place of Nathan Stoneman. So and it's Theo Piper showing that there's no substitute for experience, and he leads in this race here. Jonas Knudsen tucks into second place. 5-1s is what the Bandits need at this stage of the game, and it's a 5-1 at the moment. Jordan Jenkins not finding himself on the pace at this stage of the game, but inspired team management bringing Jonas Knudsen in place of Nathan Stoneman. Although, to be fair, the way Nathan Stoneman had been riding, you wouldn't have been surprised to see him sitting in second place behind Theo Piper in this one.
Yeah, it has to be said, it's looking like, Jonas is going to end up taking 7 rides tonight. The way he's going is absolutely flying, but there's no doubt about the man in front in red, the Flying Dutchman for the Bandits.
Yeah.
As it go round one corner to go, Bandits on a 5-1, can they do it? Yes, off the corner.
Yeah.
Bandits banging a 5-1, Bon Jovi time, we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Gear up!
Yeah, here we go. Theo Piper, Jonas Knudsen getting in now. I'd say that constitutes as a big 5-1.
I think in the context of it, it's massive. It's not big, it's massive.
Yeah.
Jonas, I should explain before we go any further the significance of the final words of the conversation when Marty said it's not a big, it's a massive 5-1. Because I've always had this chip on my shoulder about why is it that they call it a big 5-1 or a massive 5-1? It's 5-1. It's not as if you get a small 5-1. It's still a 5-1. You see what I mean? It's like like I never understood that particular. That's a massive 5, and that's a big 5-1. It's a 5-1.
That was a start for you, Paul. That was dedicated to you, that one.
I know that one. I know that one. It's like that thumbnail of former Bandit legends. I am sure that there's a reason why Mark Courtney was at the front of that. They've sussed me out. Anyway, Jonas. So I wanted to ask you. Obviously, last year you were at number. I think you came in and rode number 6.
Yes.
Yes. And we had a conversation last week with Connor Coles, who's going to be, I think, number 7.
Yeah.
Did you find any difference between being 6 or 7? Because you're likely to get the 7 rides anyway. Did you ever look at it as being I'd rather be 6 than 7?
I didn't even know. I don't even know how this heat scheme works. So for me, it's just a number. I need to win over every 4 riders every time. So, or not every 4, every 3. And sorry, 2 with my teammate.
And of course, this year you've been lined up with. Well, James, I'll let you take it away. Who's Jonas going to be partnering?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what.
Wow. I'm sure it's the riding order is TJ and Jonas.
Is it? Have we ridden it too with Thomas?
Yeah.
The new Danish Dynamite.
Yeah, Danish Dynamite.
Oh, I like that. Danish Dynamite, yeah.
Well, there we are. That's been coined. That'll be on the first meeting of the season. Have you ridden much with? Well, obviously, you and Thomas being, fellow Danes. Have you had much to do with Thomas? Have you ridden with him before? Or
I've had a couple of meetings against him back home. I think in 2019, but then I did one meeting with him in King's Lynn this end of the season. So
oh yeah, of course, yeah. Only sure if you'd have crossed paths much before, or obviously him being that little bit older than you as well, it's not like you'd have ridden with him, a whole lot at like senior level or anything like that. But yeah, I wasn't sure if you'd have ridden much with him, but I dare say you got, you guys will all get on anyway, so it'll not be too much of an issue.
100%. First time I spoke to him was in King's Lynn. I've never spoke to him before, so that's.
Well, if you're going to be riding together, you're going to be, you're going to be quickly familiar with one another, I dare say.
Yeah, no, we did get on well, so
that's good. Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Well, I think James, you had a lot of interaction with Thomas. Yourself and we, Alex.
Yeah, I should add that just for context for Jonas, that when Thomas Jorgensen rode for the Bandits before, my little nephew, not that he's so little now, Thomas is his favourite rider and still is. So he's got so just no pressure, but you've got quite a lot of work to do to get up to that sort of to get to that level.
And Thomas, Jonas, when you and Thomas get together at a British Speedway track, would you tend to speak together in Danish or in English?
I think it depends. If we're together, like only me and him, it's of course Danish, but around the team, it's always English.
Yeah.
So all know what's going on.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it, James? The fluency of Danish riders to be able to speak English.
I can barely speak English, and it's supposed to be the.
You're good at writing it. You're good at writing it.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm just guessing that's correct what I meant.
Paul will put the subtitles up for you.
And so riding at number 2, have you any thoughts about how you might tackle being at number 2? Because you can kind of look at your races in advance, but I get the sense that you really you're quite happy being told you're out in this one. You know, it's that helmet color. Go out and do your stuff.
Yeah, I don't really look on it that way. Like I said, I don't even know how the heat scheme works. Even back home, don't look at it that much. So when I'm out, I just need to get the job done and hopefully make everyone happy.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that obviously last year we had Chris Harris as the captain. This year we've got some young upstart as the captain. I mean, any thoughts on Mr. Flint, the new kid?
The new captain. It's perfect. Yeah, he's a good guy, and I'm looking forward to.
I'm always watching, son.
Like I said, I hope we get a new captain. It's gonna be perfect.
I just had to come on and check he was off the Jaeger and Newcastle Brown Ale.
I'm not drinking anymore.
Leon, any thoughts about the pairing of Thomas and Jonas at 1 and 2? You know, it's obviously it would have been nice to have kept Jonas at reserve so that we've got his firepower at any heat we like. But I mean, there's Jonas described it as the Danish dynamite duo.
That's certainly one way to call it, isn't it? They should be a good pairing. You know, Jonas really, even when he come in, was never really a reserve. But he'll have, he knows himself, he's got bigger boots to fill, as do I, and, you know, the rest of the team. But, you know, it should settle in very well, and, yeah, I'm sure he'll smash it.
And while I've got you on, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about this captaincy role, because, you know, for me, I've been going on about this for a while now. I think you're the ideal person for the job. Are you one of these ones that will sort of go around sort of, you know, I don't know, being kind of loud, or is it a case of, you know, lead by example? I'm just wondering how your captaincy will vary from, say, Chris Harris's.
Well, I was going to say I'm loud no matter what. Like Jonas will tell me that. But,
in a good way, though.
In a good way. But I don't really think the only difference that I'll be doing is just doing the coin toss at the start of a meeting. I'd like to think I try to do my best with the rest of the team, even if I'm having a good or bad one. But we're all one. But like I've said before, if there's one person in the team to go and lead us out to battle, then I'll happily do it.
Mm-hmm. Going back to the business of the coin toss, it struck me as being very interesting that last year, Chris, whenever he won the toss, he always went, although obviously he's riding number 1, he always went to gates 2 and 4. And I couldn't help thinking, was that partly to help the reserve pairing, knowing that they've got 1 and 3 in their opening heat?
No, it was just because he always forgot what we all decided to pick. And do you know what the funniest thing is? These are all laughing, but it's true. Generally true. Jonas, do you not remember that time just about every meeting when he used to look back at us and like basically ask us to say what it was again? It was every meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But normally on a typical meeting, you do go for 1 and 3 for each person to get the inside gates. But I've always been a guy like try and give the reserves what they want, but the other side of it, you always want to get off to a good start, don't you? So it's just depending on what the starts are like. It's you know, 1 might be good, and you know, 3 might be good, and 4 might be a bit crap. all just depends on what we feel like's the best kind of route to go for.
As the meeting progresses, based on the fact that there's a certain line around the track, does that affect the starting gates and how good they are?
I believe so, especially at Berwick. To start with, the whole track's got a bit of material on, and then say towards heat 15 and stuff like that, you would look at Berwick and typically think gate 4's rather good, but everyone's racing for that one bit of apex right on the fence, and if you're off gate 4 and not made an absolute blinder, you're going for a hot dog.
You're going for a chat with the Shady brothers.
if you're passing, be a hot dog as well.
And I think, James, was it not you and Marty that mentioned that, that Leon's probably the one that goes even wider than Chris Harris at times?
Just about it, yeah. It's been known to go out, go all the way out there, but that's what you pay your money for, isn't it? So,
exactly.
I certainly don't mean to. I only do it when I have to.
When needs must.
Bomber just does it because he's not got much brain cells and does it because he thinks he has to.
And Leon, as skipper, your thoughts on how Jonas will progress this season? Your hopes for, because obviously we could tell that you've obviously invested quite a bit of time and energy in Jonas, bringing him across, and obviously getting on really well. Your hopes for Jonas for the coming season?
It should be good. He's got great people around him here and back home. His mum, his dad, his brother, they're all great people. They're keeping on his feet. He's got so much more potential to come. He's riding in the second division as well in Denmark, which is good. Hopefully it doesn't burn him out too much. But yeah, he knows himself what he's capable of, and as do you guys and everyone else. So he's no pressure, but go smash it.
Absolutely. And Jonas, tell us a little about the logistics of getting everything set up ready for the new season, because presumably you've got a date in mind as to when you're actually going to be coming across to Berwick. I don't know if have we got a present practice day outlined yet, Leon?
Not yet.
No.
I was going to say, when you're on about preparation, ask him about the first time he come and we tried to get his bikes ready. Well, my bike's ready with his engines.
Well, go for that one. I must just go and sort these dogs out again. Just one moment.
We built one bike, thought it was gonna work, pushed it, couldn't start it. Tried the other one, pushed it, couldn't start it. It was like running for a marathon, I think. But nah, in the end we got it sorted.
It sounded, but every time we went to start it, it was I was at my granddad Robin's doing it in Scremiston, and every time we tried to push it, it backfired. And honestly, the whole of Scremiston thought there was a bomb went off. All the birds went flying up and everything. my granddad come running out. What are you doing and all that? My granny was inside gone Raj. Then we thought to ourselves, we should probably take this to Big Teeth, someone that actually knows what's going on.
Did he get it sorted?
Yeah, he got it running, and then I decided to pull the whole magnet out from the engine, and we had to do it all over again. So
yeah, then we was changing the footrest bolt, and I was tightening it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not too keen on this. Jonas, you do it." Next minute, snaps the footrest bolt. So we'll leave all that to the professionals this time, eh?
Yes.
You guys stick to the stuff.
Yep.
Excellent stuff. Now, so Jonas, did we get an idea of when you might be coming across to the UK when you're planning?
I think soon. I haven't booked anything yet, but
No.
I've talked with Tony, and I think in start of February I'll come over.
Wow.
Just for a weekend maybe. But you know, it's a lot of planning, and I need to build my bikes out. I'm starting to build my bikes now back home, and getting ready for Denmark and Poland as well. So it's a lot of work, but we'll get there.
Yep. And Leon, Skipper. Let's give you a proper title, Skipper of the Bandits. I mean, that's
look at Jonas trying not to cringe.
No, I think it's absolutely brilliant. As I said to you before, what was noticeable was that big crash that Nathan had against Plymouth. The first of the Berwick team to actually come out and see how everything was and try and get something sorted out. That was yourself, and you know you're obviously a great team, man. It's just, we've talked about this before, haven't we, James? It's in the blood, isn't it? You know, I mean,
I think so. I think some riders are naturally built that way, or are naturally that way, and I think certainly Leon is one of them. But I suppose, to put it another way, you would spend a lot of time with likes of Kevin Doolan, and he was another rider that was always the first guy out if someone had ended up in a heap. So I suppose you're just kind of carrying on the sort of thing that he used to, I suppose.
Kev was a role model to me through all my youth days. So, you know, seeing the way he approached his business and, you know, just taking everything in, what he done, kind of just manifested myself to that. But the biggest thing what I've learned is, you know, when you've got so much pride for something, you know, obviously I'd like to think I do show it. Like, that's what's just made me the person I am today. And then, you know, I've been able to take that onto my stuff with Wolves, even my team in Sweden. And I think it's even, you know, starting to, you know, Jonas gets it as well. You know, he's so invested in, you know, all the little things, like just stupid stuff, like what we're doing with this, what we're doing with that. Like, you know, I believe, like, you know, I'm putting words in his mouth, but I truly believe he does love the club just as much as we all do. And that's what I went back on when the last time I was here. You know, we've got seven riders that truly want to ride for the club, and, you know, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that, to be fair.
So when numbers 1 and 2, Thomas Jorgensen and Jonas, are chatting together in Danish, how's your Danish, Leon?
There'll be none of that. They'll be getting told to shut up. That's the one thing I cannot stand, especially in the changing room. They'd be away chatting, and then they're away chatting in their own language and starting giggling, and you just get that instant thing. What are they saying about me?
Yeah.
But nah.
Leon, are you old enough to remember when the Grove was on the go?
Yes, I do. Spent half my childhood in there.
I was going to say, and there was a pool. There was a pool table there, wasn't there?
Yep.
At the back, and I met Kevin Doolan quite a few times actually at the Grove at the pool table, and there was one time when I said I'll be along on the. No, I don't think I said I'd be along. I think it was the fact that I knew that he was likely there. That I had a caravan at Eyemouth,
right,
and just by chance, my uncle and auntie, well, Eunice's uncle and auntie from near Sheffield, came up, and so rather than go to the Driftwood, I said to David, I said, why don't we go down to the Grove, because they've got a nice pool table down there, you know. So we went down there, and luckily this is well after 9 o'clock. We went down there. There was only a stag party with a stripper. that went all the way. And I tell you, me and David, we didn't know what to think of it, because it wasn't like we were invited. We were just there because it was the pool table. and when we went back, and Uncle David told my wife where I had taken him, she was convinced that if you've gone 7 miles from Eyemouth to Berwick to the Grove, you must have known there was a stripper appearing.
I was going to say, I was waiting for you to say that you got your kit off and all.
No. We don't want to clear the place. We want to keep the place going.
That's why it's shut down. Paul got his kit on there.
I remember doing a disco there in Peter Waite's era, and both Jamie and Scott were there. And they were much younger, and I remember Jamie coming up and asking us to put on some AC/DC, which I did gladly. And I'm like, "How's your old man doing?" You know, and he messaged him, and you know,
beep, 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 beep.
There's this. I think Jonas is wondering what the dickens are they on about. Going back to, I've only got my phone specifically because Bartosz has come up with another nickname for Jonas. So let me see if I can run this by you. Can you remember what it is, James?
Not off the top of my head, but I should.
Well, you've heard of the Big Friendly Giant, BFG. So he's come up with the Big Friendly Viking. I mean, he reckons if it goes down really well, he's going to copyright it.
I am big, though.
I don't. You're like a wet noodle. What you on about?
No, back home now, everyone calls me Jonas the Cake Knudsen after you made the last one.
Did it? Excellent. I'm
Yeah,
glad
do.
about that. Yes, that's perfect. Because I've been through all that. You know where I'm coming from, and that's the cake is something good. The cake, you gotta have your cake and eat it. We should really get back to Speedway matters, and something that I don't know if you've looked at the teams in the Premiership this year, but it would appear to me that there are at least 7 Premiership places up for grabs. Is that something that would be of interest to you, Jonas, to join Leon in the top flight?
I don't know yet. I need to see how everything goes, because I got 3 leagues now, and I think it's gonna be a lot of meetings and hard work. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen in this year's season. So, but we'll see. Maybe I'm not turning anything down.
Sure. And Leon, your thoughts on the particularly the season coming up with Wolverhampton. I must admit I am a bit of a closet Wolves fan, having been to Monmore Green many a time, both as a Swindon fan but also just a Speedway fan. It's quite local to where my parents lived. Thoughts on the upcoming season at Monmore Green? It's such a different track, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely I don't think there's really, other than Newcastle, a track that's really like it. That's coming to tapes next year. I think Jonas was maybe going to come for the Olympic meeting last year, but he wouldn't have seen it. I think the tightest one he's been is Edinburgh. And even then he was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
It's like the 80cc tracks back home.
Yeah, but no, it should be good. I feel like everything I've got in place right now should only mean that I should carry on with my progression. I didn't have a great season there. from my perspective, but had a few good meetings there to prove to myself and also everyone else that I actually can ride the track. It's just about being more consistent there, and got another good team of lads. Obviously me and Rory there. Basically the same team, just without Nick and Drew, and it should be fun. It's a little bit like Berwick. You get that. It's got a very big family feel. Peter Adams is an absolute great guy. But yeah, we've come short in the last 2 years, so we'll definitely be aiming to go the distance this year.
And does it? I mean, I've seen you obviously on the Eurosport, and as you said, a couple of really good meetings. You absolutely flying, and you to use the Sam Ermolenko term, you were definitely figuring out that Carlson corridor, as they call it. You were absolutely flying. But it must come as quite a relief to go to some of the away tracks where it's dare I say it, Wolves have looked at you and thought, well, once you get sorted out around Monmore, he'll be unstoppable. But he's so good on the away tracks because he's his other track is Berwick. Yeah, you couldn't have a more extreme, could you?
Well, especially in 2021, I was struggling to even get 2-3 points, and then to go away from home and get like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So luckily that's kind of was what was keeping my team spot, I believe. But this year I didn't really do that. I didn't do anything special away from home. But I was just doing so much traveling, like was absolutely ridiculous. Like that's what ruined us, and just not putting everything into the maintenance, like doing a 6-hour drive and then washing bikes and then going elsewhere. Like it was just a bit much. Like even when I took Jonas to the airport from Poole,
yeah,
he was like, oh, how do you do this? And I was like, oh, to be honest, I don't really know myself.
Sure. And so Leon, from Jonas's point of view, I would say last year Jonas's best scores also came away from home. How do we get Jonas really firing at home?
He'll be fine.
Yeah. I think it was just
either a 24 mil spanner or a big wooden stick. Give him a slap up the bum.
It'll be perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. James, and have you got any more questions for Jonas and Leon?
I think we've pretty much covered it. Obviously it'll be getting late, and it's getting late here.
It will be, yeah, it'll be.
So no, I think obviously you've pretty much locked them in for coming on another time as well. So due to those videos that you've got, so we'll have to have him on. But no, I hope obviously I hope both guys have good seasons, and they continue to progress, because guys like that are the sort of future of the sport. So it'll be good to see them strut their stuff at Shielfield and this year. We can finally say that now. So yeah, it'll be good.
And finally, to Jonas and Leon, have you ever heard Speedway commentators quite like James and Marty?
No, it's perfect. I can't stop laughing when I'm watching it. and my dad is running around the kitchen screaming what you guys are saying on there.
We're gonna have to see video footage of that, to be honest, if you're coming back on. We'll have to have
His dad's now Scottish.
Yeah.
He's sat there drinking Iron Brew doing that.
He's running around saying, "Oh, what you doing?"
Unbelievable.
I wasn't aware I was going to get the piss ripped out of me on here the night, but never mind. There we go.
Do you know what? I've actually got a mug upstairs, and it's the Shouty Brothers mug, and I must get that back down here so that I can show you that again next time. Jonas, Leon, James, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on for a wee chat. Many thanks for joining us, Jonas and Leon. Best of. I'm not going to wish you luck. It's nothing to do with luck. You put in all the work. You're going to have great seasons. James, I hope your throat soon feels better, because you'll need it come March, because I think these two guys are going to provide you with quite a lot of entertainment to commentate on.
I would say so. I would say so.
I think they're going to be pretty, these two guys are going to be such hot property next season.
Yeah, here's hoping. Certainly, it'll be.
Yeah.
As I say, we'll hopefully be able to provide Jonas's dad with more catchphrases to shout around.
And what about Gary? You can provide him with a few catchphrases as well.
I'm sure he's got a few of his own.
I would be interested to hear that. Guys, absolutely fantastic. We'll catch you all again soon. Many thanks, and we'll catch you soon. Bye for now.
Cheers.